Hello and welcome to another rolling review. I am your host, Wheelchair21, the Common Roller. And on today's review, we will be featuring the Mini-Pla Gokai machine, Set 1, featuring Pat Striker, Magi Dragon, and Gao Lion. Now, as you can see, Gokai-Oh is looming in the background, and you probably are wondering, where is the review for this? And if I do recall, I had placed it up on the Toku Anime News podcast YouTube channel at the time of receiving this actual Mini-Pla, and I may probably re-review it for my channel in upcoming future months as soon as I get Mach Falcon and Goyujin completed. Anyways, in this review, we have the awesome Pat Striker, which I think is one of the best Gokai machines that are first introduced in the initial run of Gokaiger. Not just because Dekaranger SPD is a well-liked and received series, but the mecha itself, the Pat Striker, is just awesome. It has these awesome chain barrel wheels, has a great cop car design, and the way it actually looks aesthetically pleases me, just like with Gao Lion. However, the other one that comes first before the big, huge, double-pieced Gao Lion is Dragon. Magi Dragon looks exactly kind of like the deluxe toy, per se, but has newer details and modifications because this is the Gokai rendition with all the nice stickering to display Gokaiger logo is all about, and the fact that it's not just multicolored, it's now red and black. It's kind of weird because red was not the dragon. He rode the dragon, but, you know, they have to promote Red Senshi, so they're painting it red now, making it one fluid, awesome color. And overall, that one I feel is the least liked form. You have one of my other favorite forms, which is when Gao Lion combines with Gokai-Oh, become Gao Gokai-Oh, and then it becomes Shinken Gokai-Oh. And overall, it's a really huge Mini-Pla. It's really nice. It's two-pieced, and just has a lot of detail in a sense just by the stickering alone, and engraved with markings and all this cool stuff. Personally, I feel like they're just really great to own, great to have. And their transformation is quite easy since flaps open up on Gokai-Oh to reveal its true form when using these legendary powers. First up, we're going to go right into the Deca Gokai-Oh, SPD Gokai-Oh, whatever you want to call it. And this one is pretty neat, and I know it didn't debut first. I think it was Magi Dragon that showed up in Gokaiger, but in Super Mega Force, it was SPD. Now, Deca Gokai-Oh, his finishing attack is using the array of the chain guns built into the wheels. In total, there are 6 types, 3 on each side, and it's really cool, it's really great. Now, at the same time, these front areas of the Pat Striker are used as hand pistols and handguns, and you can easily display them by just unplugging them from the slot, pulling down their actual butts, and plugging them into the hands. And the best thing to do is to have better articulation to display him holding the pistols, is to close the flaps and change the forearm. Now, from this angle, it's kind of hard to see the pistols on display, so I'm just going to move one of the hands down a bit. It's just the front end, literally, of the vehicle, of the Pat Striker, but they look really nice as guns. They stick out a little bit too much, but that's because it needs to conceal the actual butt, the hilt of the handle and that of the gun inside of the actual front, I would say, frame of the vehicle. And overall, it just looks nice. I like this form. It's not too aesthetically pleasing just because of how far the guns stick out and how bulky it is, but it just recaptures the fact of the whole CGI dual-wielding gun kata gunfights it would have from the show by just having out the pistols more than keeping them built up and tucked into the shoulder and just, really making it hard for the actual suit to move. And speaking of making the suit whole wonky and weird, we're going to go right down to putting in the Magi Dragon and just featuring it in its awesome winged dragony form. Magi Gokai-Oh. Now this looks kind of aesthetically unpleasing. I mean, there are giant wings shooting out of his shoulders, a dragon shooting out of his chest, and this isn't even Gokaigers yet. And on top of this, he has these nice little claw boots. Well, overall, this one doesn't look aesthetically pleasing. The cool part about it is, yeah, it shoots a giant dragon out of its chest, and it shoots fire. Now, the bad part about it is there is no jaw articulation, which kind of sucks about the little Mini-Pla figurine. There is no jaw articulation, so you can't display, shooting the fire. They don't really come with really effect pieces, so there's no little magic ring to kind of put around your other figures or whatever to display a destruction scene, and it's just the less aesthetically pleasing of all three original, or I should say, 4 original Gokai-Oh forms and legendary powers. It's kind of just it's so stupid looking, and it's weird. I don't understand the point of this whole contraption here. I mean, even the show, it didn't look normal how it flew. It didn't look normal how it fought. It barely even fought. This was not really the most used form out of the original 3. It's actually Pat Striker, Gao Lion, Furamaru, or Kanzen Gokai-Oh straight up. This is just stupid. Alright, now for those who have never seen Super Mega Force, or the origin of the footage, Kaizo Sentai Gokaiger, Gao Gokai-Oh is probably a great form, and so is Mach Falcon, because the best part is, you take off his legs! Yeah! And now he is legless. And to finalize this form, you just plug him on top of his shoulders and into his into his front legs to create this awesome Centaurian-like form. It's kind of like Gao Kentaurus, and it's just awesome. Honestly, this form should be super strong, since when the Red Lion, Gao Lion, uses his Kentaurus form, he is so strong, nothing should be able to stop him. I preferably like this. I don't know, I think I don't know, it just kind of reminds me of also a crippled person, because this is kind of like a wheelchair. I don't know. When they combine with Mach Falcon, yeah, that one's more really like a wheelchair, because he's just scooting around on a skateboard with no feet. But I like it. It's really cool, it's interesting. And the fact that it's actually Shinkenger parts inside kind of is cheating the system, as you can see. Shishi Origami's logo for his fire blast mouth. It's just a huge cheat, and it really is just weird. But at the same time, interesting. Shinken Gokai-Oh is obviously a favorite for most. Personally, for me, is one of mine. And now, having, Gao Lion and Shinkenger combined as one is great. I was always a fan of Gaoranger / Wild Force due to its mecha. So to have, the Red Lion, Gao Lion featured is great. To have Shinkenger is great, because Shinkenger is also another fan favorite, and also a favorite series of mine as well. Now, as you can see, by combining the back end of Gao Lion with the actual sabers for Gokai-Oh, it almost becomes a foot-long Naginata. It's a great accessory. It's a great weapon. It's hard to really feature because of how these shoulder plates plug in. It's a shame how they plug in too, and how they have to be featured, or it would be a wonderful articulated gimmick. Personally, I wish we get the Super Robot Chogokin of Shinken Gokai-Oh, but that seems to be never appearing, nor is it ever going to be made. And it kind of sucks, because just the bulk of the figure itself and the 2 great accessories that it comes with would be immense to own and have. I think it would just be magnificent, because I like this Naginata weapon. It looks great. It's amazing, and the cool feature about it is it can actually be dual wielded with its Reika Daizanto, unlike the deluxe toy and such. So I'm going to display it now using the right hand for the Reika, and I will probably just throw this to the side or put it in shortly to display its dual wielding features. Now in the show, the Reika was overall great. It was huge, it got bigger, it was a giant bladed slash attack. It kind of reminded me of O Blocker or the Super Zeozord finishing attack, where it combined two swords, got big, and just blasted through whatever stood in its way. It's really great. The fact that it's small, it's kind of weird, but it probably can actually be held by a 4 or 5 inch figure in the Power Rangers line, which is made by Bandai America. And like I said, it is still able to dual wield with its Naginata, which all it has to do is just slide through the opposite hand, and it plugs in as so. And now it has a awesome 3-bladed attack, and it's just amazing features. Now, you can still get these Mini-Pla for quite cheap. You can find them on Yahoo Japan auctions and on eBay, and some stores still do actually carry them, because not everyone knows of how great the Mini-Pla are. Even though they're in limited run, some people tend to skip them. Some people have no interest in them because they're not the deluxe mecha. However, they do feature awesome points of articulation. The stickering is kind of bad, but you can just put a special adhesive glue, like good Gorilla Glue, on it, and they should stay forever. Or you can just ultimately deck them out in great modeling paint, and as such, these I didn't really want to paint because there's too many fine, small etchings and details that you kind of got to put in, like fine linings and stuff, and I just don't have the time to do all that for this kit and set. But they're great to own, cheap to afford, and awesome just ways to suffice not being able to afford the deluxe mecha, or at the time not having its American counterpart issued out. Because I got these probably 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. Some of them I had not even built yet because I just didn't have the drive, the motivation to build them, or the fact that was SoundOut didn't send them to me until about 1.5 years after Power Morphicon 3. So yeah, overall, great to own, great to have. Honestly, you can check me out here on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Hero Otaku, and Raijo Nihon. And we'll see you next time with another rolling review and Doyle's.